We are at EdVenture Children's Museum. I'm here with Bree. We are in one of 3 labs that they have here at the museum. We're going to be doing an experiment in just a few minutes, but first we're going to talk with Bree about some of the amazing opportunities that you have right here at the museum. So Bree, thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about these field trip opportunities, the programs, and all of the other aspects of the museum.
Absolutely. Well, Sierra, the last time that you were here, we were in the cooking lab, so we were able to experience that. We are now in the Biolab, which is also sponsored by AFLAC, but this area is extremely special because not only does it offer daily programs for our visitors that come in, and it's completely free with admission, but we also have a lot of camps and field trip programs that you can do right here. We have labs twice a day. This one in particular is at 11 and 1:45, but our other labs like Cooking Lab and Tinker Tech are also offered throughout the day as well.
Okay, well, let's talk about some other opportunities here with the museum.
Yeah, so we use the space for camps. We have a lot of fun activities that are hands-on. As a teacher, I really love to see children actually engaging in science, not just looking at it, watching it, but actually putting their hands in it and really getting down and dirty.
You also have some holiday themed events that are coming up. Tell us about the Gingerbread Jamboree. I love that name.
We have the Gingerbread Jamboree. It's going to be actually offered 3 times in December, the 9th, 16th, and the 23rd. You can come build some gingerbread houses and also have some other exciting crafts and activities.
Perfect. Well, Bree, thank you so much for sharing these details with us. We are ready to get hands-on ourselves. All right, everyone, it is time to get down to business. We're going to be doing some experiments, and I'm here with one of the educators you can have right here at EdVenture. This is Carolyn. Thank you so much for helping us to do whatever it is we're doing today. What are we doing today?
We are talking about matter. So have you ever heard of matter before?
Yes.
Yes, so matter is everything, right? It's me, it's you, the table, the air, water, it's everywhere. And all matter is made of molecules. Molecules are little tiny particles that are made up of atoms. And atoms can exist in 3 different states. So we have solids, liquids, and gases. The difference between these things is how much energy all of those molecules have. So in solids, our molecules are really tired. They don't have any energy. They're really close together.
Like this?
They're like this. They don't like to move. They stay very solid. They keep their shape, they keep their volume, and they stay solid. Liquids have a little more energy. They're still kind of close together. They're buddies, but they're a little loosey-goosey. They got some energy, they move, but they'll stay together. So they won't go flying away from each other. Gases are the 3rd state of matter, and they have the most energy out of every state. Exactly.
I'm a
they
gas.
are dancing, they are partying. Those molecules don't want to stay together. They want to go, and they will go. So what we're going to talk about today is the way that states of matter can change. So we can go from solid to liquid by melting. We can go from liquid to gas by boiling. Or we can jump stages. We can go from a solid straight to a gas through something called sublimation. And a great example of sublimation is something called dry ice. Have you ever heard of that before?
Oh yes, I have, and I saw you suiting up, and I'm gonna get suited up likewise.
Yes.
You have some pretty cool gloves.
All right, so this is dry ice. Our water is water, right? Even when it's an ice, it's still water. This is not water, it's not H2O, it's carbon dioxide, or CO2. And what do you notice about it?
It has some things going on. It is smoking.
It's smoking, that's right. Because our carbon dioxide naturally exists as a gas at room temperature, whereas our water usually exists as a liquid. So when we force it down into a solid, we have to make it incredibly cold to do this, which is why we're wearing gloves. Dry ice is negative 109 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh.
It's incredibly cold, which is why anytime you handle it, you want to be wearing some really thick cloth gloves.
Safety first, guys.
Safety first, always, always. So we are going to be doing a little bit of study with our sublimation.
And where can you get dry ice? Because I know some people are like, I've never bought dry ice before. Where do we get that?
So you can get dry ice at certain grocery stores. Some locations will carry it, but other locations will not. So you can always call your local supermarket and see what they have. You do have to be over 18 to purchase it though. So you'll have to be an adult or have an adult with you.
Perfect.
Okay, so right now we can see the gas coming off, but it's kind of chill, right? There's not a whole lot of energy to it. So right now, the dry ice is sublimating because the air is warmer than it. But we're gonna put it in some water so that we can make the gas a little more concentrated and see what's happening. So we're gonna scoot over to this one.
Let's scoot over. Stage 1.
And if you ever don't wanna use gloves, you can also use tongs to handle the dry ice.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is we are gonna drop these into these graduated cylinders of water, and we're gonna see what happens. Ready?
1, 2.
3. So it's a lot more dramatic now, right?
It is very dramatic, and I live for drama.
The great part about dry ice is while you can't touch dry ice itself without gloves, you can touch the gas, and it's totally safe.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are we doing with these balloons?
So gas has a lot of energy. You notice how it's flowing up and out of the beakers?
Yes.
So gas, it wants to move, and it's going to fill whatever container you put it in. Right now, the container that the gas is in, it looks like it's in the beaker, but it's actually the room.
Oh, wow.
It's actually the room. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna trap our dry ice so that we can really see how much power there is in our gas, because it's got the most energy out of every state. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna stretch open the opening, and we're gonna slide it on the top of our graduated cylinder. Ready? And we're gonna see how long do you think it will take for these to fill up. Right?
All right, there we go.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave this alone for a little while, and we're
Okay.
gonna see how long it takes for the balloons to fully inflate.
Okay.
So that's one experiment that you can do with dry ice at home. So we have here another container of water and some plain old dish soap.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So would you like to pour the dish soap or the dry ice?
Dry ice.
Dry ice. Okay. So what we're gonna do is dunk that right into our water. And we can see that it immediately starts to gas up. But when we add our soap,
Oh, foamy bubbles.
foamy bubbles. And the best part about this,
Oh, how cool.
all right, so our third experiment is our alternative to dry ice. So for this version, we are going to be using a plastic water bottle, some water, and
I know those guys.
you know these guys.
We know these guys.
They're seltzer tablets. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to putting this in our water. Do you know what happens when we do that?
Something tells me it's gonna fizz up.
It's gonna fizz up. So when we add this to our water, so we can see that it's starting to fizz a little bit.
Ooh.
So what's happening is the carbon in our sodium bicarbonate is breaking apart. The oxygen from our H2O is breaking apart. And the carbon and the oxygen are recombining to make carbon dioxide, which is the exact same molecule that our dry ice is made
Not to be confused with carbon monoxide.
of. Not
to be confused.
That is not something we want to make at home.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. All right, so when we're doing this at home, we can do, from here, we can go two routes. We can either do the balloons again, or we can do the soaps. So we're gonna dunk these in, and then we're gonna stick our balloon on top, and it'll be basically a recreation of what we did with our graduated cylinders. The only difference is it's a little more gentle. You can see it's starting to inflate just the tiniest bit,
Yeah.
bit by bit. But it's gonna take a minute because it's much calmer.
Right.
See, the bubbles
Right.
here, they're much smaller and slower versus our dry ice bubbles, which are
Yeah.
still going very
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. And the beaker's pretty cold too.
And the beaker's very cold
Yeah.
because our dry ice is, again, negative 109 degrees
Yeah.
Fahrenheit. So this might take a while. If you're doing this at home, you're more than welcome to see how long it takes, and you can even try adding more or less Alka-Seltzer and see if it takes longer or slower.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Want to do one last thing?
Sure.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pinch the bottom of our balloon, and we're just gonna peel it off and hold it. What do you think happens if we let this go?
It's just gonna fly all over the place.
It's gonna fly all over the place. Ready?
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Woo! Yeah.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.